r/antiwork. Blazin Fast Jenny says, no job is safe, from AI or otherwise. Included photo. The sign of Zeta says, no job is safe. At the same time, people are vastly overestimating how quickly AI can do some jobs. This is especially true in certain fields, where errors will result in legal culpability. That doesn't mean some businesses won't try it, but a lot are going to pull back when they see legal cases from the mistakes AI will cause. Estimated delivery says, not to answer the previous comment, when the AI is doing the job of a call center operator, which is its ideal role, answering questions that are limited and follow a routine. Every person manning a phone can be replaced. Capreos says, they've been threatening to replace us with robots for decades. The bottom line is, humans pay to repair themselves and robots don't. It's still cheaper to hire humans, even if they do manage to get a functioning AI. Ordinary Broccoli 41 says, one of my favorite policy combos in Democracy 4 is a combination of robotics research, automation tax, and UB. Let the government fund the means to stop working, and take the profits to ensure that people actually do stop working. AFP 2137 says, the more work AI replaces, the better. Our only role is to fight for a universal basic income, and then robots can do everything for us. Why are you even afraid of losing your job? Isn't it the main goal of this sub? Kananja Rusi Ball says, when the day comes that we have automaton robots to come for the blue collar labor jobs, my concern will rise. Until then, meh, Tech Brothers had a good run. Lexicon Huka says, not really sure though. When they tried replacing us with a robot, it ended up offing itself in a fountain. Then another one fell down a escalator. Oh, and people stole a few. Frogmucky says, who's going to pick up the garbage and serve the Big Macs and fries? Not AI lol. Tristan Therablarkson 3 says, AI is, frick, I'm dumb at the moment, so I know. Like seriously. I guess it could maybe do fast food or some bullshit, but not like anything actually requiring people to be there. r/antiwork. McMorse Clubhouse says, employer writes us up if we need too much PPE. Just issued a new policy to replace their old, blatantly illegal one, where if we damage our issued PPE due to avoidable incidents we get a write-up. 3 write-ups equals fired. The problem is that our current ops director's favorite phrase is every incident is avoidable. To me, this feels illegal. Is it illegal? Like, we're going to avoid asking for critical replacement PPE now because there are such strict new consequences. For context, I work in a forestry related field where injuries and deaths are a huge issue. We need a lot of PPE to do the job. Chainsaw chaps, helmets, ear pro, gloves, etc. Tejos says, you know, we need that PPE to avoid any recordable incidents with OSHA, so I think it's in our best business interest to provide fresh, safe PPE as the nature of the job requires. Then, report them to OSHA anyway. GeoduxEF4L says, I don't know if it's illegal, but it sure is shitty. My response would be to work very slow at all costs to avoid incidents. Safety, productivity, right. OK Willow 9145 says, I think slowing way down is your best bet for the short term. Long term, you and your colleagues may want to start reporting every injury and every safety violation to the relevant authorities: OSHA, Health Department, Fire Department, Department of Labor. Get a lot of eyes on these jokers. Throwaway Mankiba says, every incident is avoidable. I noticed how the word accident is not used by management. I'm concerned that this shifts the fault to you if a cracked or compromised PPE fails to protect you because you decided not to request replacement PPE. I would definitely contact OSHA on this. Drool the Magnificent says, OSHA would love to hear about this one. Be sure to take lots of pictures of broken/expired PPE and make sure to grab a copy of the policy in writing about requests for PPE being subject to corrective action. Also, contact an attorney specializing in employment law because you may have the opportunity to sue your employer for serious money. Jmorgan82 says, can't write you all up if no one works there. Let this frick fail. Perry147 says, report to OSHA. They will launch an investigation into employees not given access to PPE equipment, forced to wear damaged equipment. Numerous Expression 2 says, can't you just report them to OSHA over threatening to fire people for requesting PPE? Former Computer says, get a write-up for an avoidable incident, then send it to OSHA. Then sit back and watch the show. There are some industries where you don't frick around with safety, and forestry is one. Large machines, chainsaws, remote locations, hides. What could go wrong? r/antiwork. LKS2 Drive Fast says, won't let a waitress go home after their friend ended themself. Last night after work I stopped by a bar where I know a lot of the staff. Hugged a few of the waitress and bartenders. Des as well, fake name. She was friendly as usual and happy to see me. An hour later I was sitting at the bar near the pose and saw her staring distantly across the restaurant. I noticed this vacant stare was over 10 minutes. No looking around at the tables or anything. Just a blank stare at the wall across the restaurant. I know she has a couple of kids at home, so I thought she was just tired. I tossed a joke out about a hard work week and asked if she was tired. Des got a text from my mom that my best friend since I was 10 hung himself today. Me Jesus. You shouldn't be here. You should be at home with friends and family. Des, my manager, won't let me leave. They were overstaffed on a slow night. Gave her a huge hug. I hate how insensitive managers can be to people going through shit. Scrutus and Junabeats says, this is a message to every single person that posts in this sub. Just fricking leave. Your boss is not your owner, or your master, or your dictator of your life. Every day I see threads about people being absolutely walked on, or scared about a write-up on their permanent record. There isn't a permanent record in life, go do what you need to do. Past Direction 9145 says, stick it to them, and leave with another job lined up. No notice. And enjoy it while it lasts. They're furiously working to make it illegal to quit without notice. Slaves and all but name. Granda Pink Drink Noise says, some things are not questions. I just got news of a family emergency, I'm leaving now. You do not need their permission to take care of yourself or your friends/family. Tinorbmum says, my godson died. I received the call at work. I'm a single mom. My boss told me if I left I would lose my job and license for patient abandonment. Then they wouldn't let me have any time off for the funeral or to grieve. My godson was 2 when he died during a routine surgery. Jobs are a dime a dozen. Quit. Don't let them treat you this way. You will regret it the rest of your days. I know because my godson died 31 years ago. To stay sap Morts says, I would ask to see the manager and make the biggest stink of the situation until they let her go home. I'll get banned from there for life, don't care. Saltyfingers says, just tip, if you get fired, oh well, serving jobs are easy to come by. Cool Cheetah 658 says, I'd have told her to go home and find another server job. Waitress jobs are plentiful. Family and friends, however, aren't replaceable. Work is the least important of all of these. Don't ever let work sway you to do something you know, in your heart, you will regret. Fake August says, I'm so sorry to hear that. My boyfriend's father passed suddenly a few years ago. When I told my boss, he said you'll be off then in his sweet British accent. I live in the USA. I don't work for him anymore, but he was the sweetest. But really, that should just be protocol, and wasn't even my relative / best friend. r/antiwork. Unknown 88 Destroyer says, just wrote my resignation letter. Basically, just finished writing my resignation letter. I had taken some time off of work to gather my thoughts. Came to the conclusion that I was not happy at all. I had been killing myself doing jobs that did not pertain to the job I applied for. Bent over backwards for people who did not care. Work became even more hostile once I voiced my concerns with the racism I had been dealing with. I realized that I needed to cut all ties from this job and walk away. Finishing that letter helped. It made me realize that I deserve better. Swim 3567 says, congratulations. Clocks for Life says, I'm there with you. Turning in my resignation letter first thing tomorrow morning. Been dealing with a stupid commute, plus 3 hours round trip, a coworker who gets paid more than me, with the same title, but literally knows nothing about our industry. I was expected to train him, and a project, where I have my reputation tied to a project, where I have zero authority to affect anything that happens. Plus, I pulled up my job description, and am literally not doing a single thing I was hired to do. Peace out, horrible job. On to bigger and better things. And congratulations, it's awesome that you know your self-worth. Fuck racism. Fkide says, not sure how long your letter is, but I'll just say less is better. It's nice to get all of the emotions out in a letter, but don't give them the satisfaction of seeing your anger and frustration. A simple "this is my last day" will suffice. Trust me, nothing you say will change their view or attitude. Brown Monroe says, anyone quitting now, I hope you have a new job lined up, or people you can stay with. It is really hard to find something out here now. I would normally never advocate for staying in a toxic job, but if it's the only way to pay your bills, you may want to wait. Edit to say, I'm a year into unemployment, and am 2K+ applications in. So speaking from experience. I didn't quit, but my situation is still this. Sharon's89 says, my one biggest mistake in life is letting myself being lowballed for work, telling myself that lowball is okay for now, as long as the opportunity to learn is a lot. Few years forward and many of my friends have tripled my salary, while our competency maintains around each other's level, in similar field. 2 years ago, I realized that my perspective is dumb. Then I apply for next opportunity with salary tied to the upcoming position, and expected competency level. Doubled my salary with tons of benefit. Recently I switched again for almost double the salary with an even better benefit. Moral here is, it doesn't matter whether your job is your hobby or not, know your worth and fight for your worth. Always reflect on your current situation and see if you're taken advantage on or not. After all, working contract is a two-way street. You cannot be the only side working towards the betterment of the company while the betterment of your life being neglected over. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.